Good morning. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great Friday. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I've walked into the studio for the last week, I'm like, I could erase the chalk and get a good look at this. And I was like, no, that's the fun part. I should save that for when I am painting next. And then like the next day I'll walk in here and I'm like, I could erase this chalk because I want to see it. And then I'm like, no, I should wait. So that's been me for the last week. I'm sorry, Fossix. Friday was not my day. I'm sorry. I have been very excited to work on this though. So we're going to start by erasing chalk today, and then we're going to give this a good base layer so we see it actually, like for the first time. And then we'll see how long that takes us. Because after that, the next thing is going to be giving it detail and shadow, just like we did the background where I had painted everything very flat. And then we went back over it and like made this part darker and then this part lighter, that sort of thing. Did I see that the Switch 2 pre-orders have a new date? It's Thursday the 24th. Like a week from yesterday. Steven changed something on our calendar and it was like, Steven changed the date of Switch pre-orders, and I didn't look at what day it was. Okay, that's sooner than I thought it would be. Okay. So I'm very excited for this painting. I also had to go find this sketchbook because it went somewhere over the weekend. I know where it went. It just, I didn't return it here, and then I was like, no sketchbook. And then I found it. So we're gonna get started. We have an 18-month resub from Amaya A, 10 months from the Grackle Pack, 25 months from Aldo512, and 25 from Jolteron. And if you are not here on Monday nights, there is a new keyword alert that Chaz made. But if you're not here on Monday nights, it's not gonna make any sense to you, so. It doesn't really matter then, I guess. But it is vital information, Slick Duke says. Correct. Alright, so we're going to start by getting rid of all this chalk, and that's exciting. And I'm seeing a little bit, okay, that's going away. It wasn't quite erasing on some of this. I just had to scrub a little bit. The most important thing is that it erases outside of the lantern because that part is done. We want to be able to not see chalk there. Inside the lantern does not matter as much because paint will go there. So like there's a chalk line right here that's kind of being stubborn. And I think I moved the vanishing point. I don't know. I can find out because I'll just check all my lines. There's a vanishing point and I forgot because I moved it. I don't remember which is the new one. Maybe I should, like, remind myself of that right now. Okay. Chalk gone. Ruler. Oh, I did bring that back too. Good. Good job, me, for remembering. Alright, this... Okay, it's this one. So, We're gonna make it have a little bullseye. Because that differentiates it. The problem is gonna be is when I paint this part, I'm gonna paint over it. And then I'll promptly forget. These need to have a new home over there. I also need to decide what my green is going to be because I haven't done that. So all of the moss and everything, I kind of wanted a uniform, here's true color, like tint to all of this. In looking at this photo, I think sap is going to be the closest. Because there's a lot of yellow on all of the moss that sits up here and the greenery. I don't know if all of this is moss. Because it's not like resurrection ferns. There's definitely moss down here. But these are more leafy things up here. It looks kind of like duckweed, which sits on top of water, but like it's on stone and not floating on water. I don't know. We have a 12-month resub from Strawberry Hearts. Thank you for hitting a year. Who says good morning and happy 1 year. Good morning. We also have a 21-month resub from Detran who says good morning everyone. Okay. Colors. So we have stone down here, stone up here that matches. This is stone, and then this is wood, and then this is like, I don't know what the behind this is. Like traditionally paper, yeah, but I don't think this would be shoji screen paper on an actual lantern. Maybe like back in the day it was. Maybe it's plastic now. It's hard to tell. But I did not draw the lines of this in. Maybe I should have. Trying to think of which way I want to go with that. I think I want to paint it brown, draw the lines, and then paint the paper behind it. Because I'll see the white chalk better on top of the brown. Okay, let's start with the brown because that's going to be easiest. Umber. Because that's just a solid color. Now, I think what I'm planning to do for this is probably just use burnt umber with white. Burnt umber is quite orange, so if I use blue as my shade, that's probably the way I should go. Also, if I do the brown first, it'll be dry, hopefully, so I can do the lattice work. And then I think I was using Titan Buff for the light instead of actual white paint. So we'll continue that trend. So swatching these, we have burnt umber. There we go. I'm running out of room. We have burnt umber, and that's going to be our base for the wood part of the lantern. And then we have burnt umber with primary cyan, which is quite green, and that's fine. So this will be our shadow for the wood base to start filling that in and just blocking it in. And then we'll have our lighter color for the highlights. And that will look like that. Just so I can see where they are. Now what brush do I want to use? All of these are way too big. This one's better. And this one. So I think I want to start with the highlights first because I can see them easiest. And this is just kind of like a coloring page right now. So I'm just going to look at it. And fill in all of the light parts of the wood part. And the lightest parts of that are these flat pieces right here because the light is hitting this way. So those are sitting right here. And then like as I get this way, it's going to get a little bit darker. And of course I picked like the smallest spot to start with, so it's harder to see on camera. But it was easiest to see visually for me. And that was important. Okay, so that little flat piece is done. I mean, not all the way done, but it's blocked in. So I think I'm just going to continue to block in different pieces down here. Like this part is very dark. Oh no, there's cooking. Fire Goddess says, laundry day for me. Can I get a sarcastic hooray? I got 2 things done last night and I have 2 more to go today. Plus I'm pretty sure I'm going to go on a bike ride, so I'll also have that to wash. But that doesn't need to go in the dryer, at least. The worst part is putting it away. Like, I will fold it after the dryer, and then I will have a basket of folded things, but then putting those away, especially the stuff that needs hung up, it's already folded, but it needs hung up. That's the worst part for me. Like, I don't mind going to flip it and being like, oh, well, it's done. And I don't even mind folding it when the dryer's done. I just really hate the sorting and hanging process after. Okay, so the hashtag here, that part is done. Like, I did the top of it, I did the sides of it. So now, like, this part sits on top of that. So we're gonna fill that in. Radiator says, I hate the part where I have to run up and down 3 floors every time I handle the laundry. I need a washing machine in the apartment. That was something that I hated in college, was having to go to the laundry room and do laundry there. Especially because in college, like, you would just be like 2 minutes late and you would find your stuff like all over the floor. So I just always sat with it and like did homework there. I'd bring my laptop. Sometimes you could convince friends to wash their laundry at the same time so you could all just hang out. think this is going to be kind of really neat once I have it blocked in. We'll really be able to see it. We have a 25-month resub from Dishnet. Good morning, Dishnet. Hope y'all have a good morning so far. I am. I just rode past where you were when you were in town last. Through campus. Where the event happened. I should clarify, I was on a bike, but that was maybe obvious. Dishnet says, painting's coming along really well so far. Thank you. Right now, we did all the geometry last week. So you can kind of see like the lines. Made sure they were all set. And now I'm just blocking things in. I'm doing a little bit of shading. You can kind of tell like where it's light right here. Just so I can see where those lines still are. I can't just paint the whole thing brown because I've drawn in the different details. So I have to like account for them in my shading. And we're just kind of working our way through it. Watched the Nara vlog yesterday. I don't know if I could have handled all those deer. They were very cute and like, they're not tall. Like, I mean, the tallest one was probably like waist height for me. Amaya says, I wasn't here when you started it. What's the painting of? This is a photo you took. It is a photo I took in Nara in Japan. This photo. And this photo is not in the vlog. There's a photo of some stone lanterns, but they were like around the corner of where this one was. So it's close to, the ones you see in there is close to where this was. What is next? We'll do those ones. I'm gonna work left to right across this part because I'm right-handed. And if I work over here, then my hand gets in it. So on the dark colors, I'm not quite painting on top of the black paint line I did. But on these lighter colors, I am. Because I don't want it to look like an illustration, it is a painting. Alright, the Nara vlog. I spent yesterday morning crying over the dogs, the deer. They were very fun. If you go to Nara, I suggest buying the cookies, the crackers, but like taking them with you way past like the open park field that they have, because those deer are slightly more aggressive because you can see how they're like nipping at people's clothes. And it's not like they're chomping on you, they're just kind of like, and like that's a little annoying. It's also encouraging that behavior. So there's some deer that are a little bit further in towards like where the shrine was that were not as aggressive. Dishnet says, to be honest, I probably would have tried one. I didn't know if there was peanuts in them, which is the reason I don't for allergies, but they smelled really good. They smelled sweet. Deer aggressive. They were very cute deer. They weren't like big whitetail bucks. Dishnet says, good idea, I don't think they're made with peanuts. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, for me, I tend to try to just be better safe than sorry. Okay, one vertical piece. Now we're gonna do the flat piece that faces us, where the paper should be, but we're not doing that yet. What am I doing? I'm painting all of this. Why am I trying to stay in this line? Didn't Steven uncheck this on his stream yesterday? Yeah, he did. But it's not the same library. This is the one on this computer. A little lyrics as a treat, but not the full song. can probably switch to a larger brush at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. We'll let that one soak for a little bit. We have two 25-month resubs from Fred Burger and KJ the Quiet One. Good morning, you guys. I think I need to make this just a touch bit darker here. Amaya says, how are we at 25 already? I don't know. It's nice to see it get blocked in. We're almost done with the wood part. I need to switch back to that small brush. This one is way too big. I'm losing my line right here just a little bit, so we're going to intentionally make it lighter. Just so I can see it later. That's way too light though. So there's a little bit more of the wood part up here because it's the same thing down here, just repeated. And that's all of the brown. So I'm gonna start with the light color because I have a lot of that right now. And it's still all pretty dark up here. And it all may just kind of end up being basically super dark and not being able to tell any of it from itself, but that's fine. I did really push the darks in the photograph when I edited it. So if I can't tell what these lines are later, that's fine. I know I drew them correctly, and that's enough. Suddenly loud noise from Steven's office. Alright, that is all of the wood blocked in. So I have stone down here, and then stone up here. And a lot of the stone on the cap is going to be covered eventually by the plants, but we're going to still kind of do a little bit of shading with it. Probably a little bit of texture with it. We're going to switch to... This might be too big. This one might be too small, but it's better. So the stone is grayish brown green. So we're going to make it grayish brown green. So I'm trying to neutralize it a little bit. I feel like I've done a decent job of that. I just don't think I have enough here to do all of that. So we're gonna have to make more. More Jenkins. I wonder if I have more sap green. That should be a question I answer later today, because I may have to pick some up. So the stone is going to be a lot darker at first on this base layer than it will be in the end because of the texture of the stone, because the texture of it is going to be put on later. Also starting to wonder if I still don't have enough mixed up. Titan Buff, you are a large tube. And I think I'm going to work my way from top down, just so I can keep my hands out of the paint. And I'm going to start with the big brush, and then work to smaller brush down here. Already regretting big brush. Maybe just for these finer little details right here on this part. So we're going to switch to smaller brush. It's way darker than I want it to be. I mean, like the lighter parts are. But like I said, I'm going to be putting the stone texture on it later, and that will help. It feels kind of flat right now. Ooh, that's not right at all. Nope. Okay, we'll get that fixed later. So there's that. And now like this part. Should be lighter. And like right along this part. This is gonna look ridiculous for a while, and I'm fine with that. Process is my mortal enemy. It's so frustrating sometimes, and I'm like, I know this is the way to do it. This is not dark enough. Like, it needs to be way darker than what I've mixed. Let's pull out Mars Black. For one, I need to really be done with this tube of Mars Black because it's doing weird things. I need to research this. It's fine, it's just... I want to get a new tube that's not doing what this one is doing. Oh, that's better. Yeah. That's where we want it to be. Okay. Is this dry enough? Yeah, I could put my hand here. Oh. See, that's why I do that way. Shove my hand directly into wet paint. I don't know where I did it though. I don't see a mark. Jab the wet paint directly into my hand, yeah. There's a few early paintings when I was still like getting used to painting in like 2016 where I'd get paint on my hand, not realize it, and touch somewhere else, and then it was too late. Haley said, hey, I'm painting over here. Now that the cap is filled in, it feels a lot better. There's still something weird like under here, and I think it's because you can see this, and that's not what you're gonna see later. We just gotta block in this. That's my goal for today, is to have that blocked in. Did I do the bottom of this? No, perfect. I don't have to worry about that then today. That will be a future Mal problem to deal with. Alright, I can leave that alone for now. That's blocked in enough. Let's do this stone down here. I'm gonna start with the darkest stuff because that's what I'm got right now. Future Mal angry. Yeah, future Mal will be angry. Future Mal will deal with it. Paper towel is just about spent. I might need to get a new one. This is dry, yeah. Extreme focus. There's so many tiny parts here, and I don't want to accidentally paint like the Rise Over the Run to be the wrong shade. But once it's blocked in, I'll see the parts that are vertical versus horizontal. And it's all quite light. Like, this is going to be way darker right now than it needs to be. But like I said, I'm trying to do that so I can see what the detail's going to look like of the actual stone, because I need to put that on after. There's a vision. Thanks, segregated molecules. We're finishing blocking this in. Do we have to break out the micrometer today? It was straight to color. We've just been filling it in, similar to a coloring book right now, because I had all my lines from last week. Okay, lighter parts. When am I releasing MalMakes coloring book? I mean, for example, like I could scan this and draw the lines and make it an illustration. Not even that it's all that hard. With scented markers. Don't know why I started in the middle one first. We should probably start with the highest one up. And just like that, it is finally blocked in. I do want to lighten this up a little bit. Oh, that helped a ton. That part was really bugging me. And like these parts down here should be lighter too. But that's okay for now. It's blocked in finally. Very happy about that. Okay. I want to hold it up so you guys can see it a little bit better, or take a photo and put it in ArtQ. Something's in ArtQ. Original photo, okay. Well, let me take a photo of this as it is right now, and then you guys can put that in ArtQ too, please. Just make sure I don't get paint on my phone. Okay. Oh, there's a glare. No, don't do that. Still glare. It's like perfectly glared because the light is right behind me. That's better. There's still a little bit of a glare, but it's not as bad. Okay. Let's put this in ArtQ. Discord. Mod. Okay. That'll help show some of this like detail in here better. And this is just our blocking in phase. So that's the original photo. So I still have to do the paper in the center, and obviously the greenery and the details of the stone. And so there's the detail of all of the stuff I've done today for the blocking in, and you can see kind of the shadows that I've started to put in, but there's going to be a lot more detail there. This is just some of the base layer to see it. So it looks very different from the background. Like, especially down here is like nicely detailed and pretty. And then this is just like flat brown with a flat light brown. And like this part up here, that's still the wood, that's not the stone right above it, is going to get quite dark. You probably won't even be able to tell the difference in that later. So there is a lot to do yet, but we've made good progress. And this part was not the mind-numbing geometry of last week, which is good, because that was frustrating in the end. It wasn't difficult, it was just a lot of math, a lot of double checking and measuring. Alright, I need to cover these, but let's talk about the things that are coming up, including tonight. Tonight on Steven's channel, we're playing Split Fiction. I'm also going to roll the Patreon ticker. I don't know how much is left in the game, but it's been very fun. There's been a lot of like neat things, a lot of different gameplay that like happens. Like we just got jet skis on one of the last ones. Why is this stuck? And a lot of the change in controls between things, like when it went to the jet skis, was seamless. It was very good. So I'm looking forward to that tonight. There we go. Finally got that open. Monday night I will not be streaming. So there will not be a game stream on Monday. And then the week after I have to figure out what we're playing. I have not thought about that. I had an idea and I thought, yeah, this is it. And then I forgot it. So I still have to figure that out. Then what's coming up? Tuesday breakfast stream will be normal breakfast stream. At its normal time. And then Wednesday, Steven's going to continue Shadow of the Colossus. So that will be, I know he's really liked that to see like the changes they've made for the PS4 version. Other things to check out, if you didn't check out the latest Japan blog, that is out. So if you haven't seen that, it's real good. I got paint all over this tube. Oops. It fell into a color. Yeah. It's called Look at All These Dogs. There were so many deer. They were very cute. And I think that's all the things I have to announce. I'm just covering up these paints still. You mean dogs. Yeah. It's 1:30 a.m. Fossex, go to bed. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still doing this. I have one more. There we go. Hopefully these will stay wet and usable for next week. Maybe. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they dry out a little bit. You are on your futon bed. Okay. Good. Alright everyone, thanks for being here. I guess if you haven't seen the vlog, go watch that, and I hope to see you tonight for Split Fiction. So have a good Friday, and I will see you guys all later.